Okay, welcome to the Canadian Aston Villa fan season 24-25 retrospective. Today, today I guess we have to start with the last game of the season. Man United beat us 2-0. I think we all know that it was a game full of grief, suffering, tragedy. I don't even eh, still processing it, I think. The whole season actually. I made this channel back I think in January or February, and I wanted to post videos, but when we were in the Champions League versus PSG, I was too tense to feel like recording something. It just felt like I didn't want to say anything. I just wanted to see what happened. I just wanted to hope. Just wanted to hope. And I think I'm going to come back to that a lot, but hope has definitely been what we had a lot of this season. And we ended up with Europa. I think that's huge, relatively speaking. But yeah, pain. Pain was also a theme of this season. A lot of easy, early first shot goals, just defensive mistakes, tons of them early on in the season, combined with, John Duran scoring an amazing, unbelievable goal versus Bayern and then getting sold. Not to mention his red card versus Newcastle was so bogus. So much going on. Well, let's just clarify the ref situation. Personally, with the ref in the Man United game, people are being pretty brutal to him about he shouldn't have blown the whistle. He shouldn't have blown the whistle. At the end of the day, most of the time when a ref sees a foul in the field, he's just going to blow the whistle. And sometimes it's a dive, sometimes it's just not a foul, but he calls it and the game moves forward. That's just how free kicks work. It's super normal. It's just so crazy the amount of impact. And really, even if we didn't have the goal score, we didn't even need the goal to get a result and get Champions League. It was like it broke our concentration, it broke our focus. All of a sudden the players were just so riled up and so tense with adrenaline, and it just they immediately scored. The game became became a game, I guess. Yeah. What can you do? That's that's football, I guess. Proper football. You get the luck of the draw sometimes, and sometimes you get just wrecked. Personally, for me, I don't think that the ref is going to be fairly ostracized. I think he just made a mistake, and that's totally reasonable. Ah, what can you do? And like for me, the issue is why is there no like special exclusion rule or some sort of rule that just says that in a circumstance such as this where you could reasonably argue that the whistle did not affect the run of play, why not be able to award a goal in that situation? It's just a unique circumstance, and we don't need it to change the outcome for our season. But I mean, isn't that's what rules and laws are supposed to be? They're supposed to change to most often serve justice. And in this situation, the the justice would have been served by having such a rule. And in the next time, it won't be Villa probably who has this happen to them again. It'll be a different club, and that club won't deserve it either. So the rule should be changed. VAR should be able to intervene in cases where they establish a reasonable reason to override the whistle. And it's such a rare situation. It's such a non-situation. No one expected such a thing to happen in such a big moment. But I mean, hey, why not change it for the better? And you know, it doesn't have to be something that's ever used again, but just have it written down so that if it does, you know, massively impact another club who could be in an even bigger situation, could be a Premier League deciding, ref mistake. That would be insane, right? Why not just fix it and just use this case as the reason why they changed it? So That was Man United versus Villa, Europa League Villa. And I mean, you know what? It was the last kick in the balls, but otherwise, I mean, it was a wonderful season. Wonderful as a fan who I'm in Canada. I have to get up sometimes 5 a.m. for games. I schedule my sleep schedule around games a lot. Uh, I love the feeling the night before, that like giddy feeling, that excitement, thinking, I think maybe we can win tomorrow. I think maybe we can win tomorrow. And I mean, I didn't always have that feeling. I've only been a fan since 2020, but like there were times where I was like watching Villa, especially under Gerrard, was just like it was it wasn't a feeling the same way where I was like excited to go out of my way to change my sleep schedule. Like when since Emery's came in, like yeah, I've been just excited to change my sleep schedule to catch games because I always feel like we have a chance to win. There's no team we played this year where I was like, oh, we didn't have a chance. There was games we played where I was like, oh, we did not have a chance, but not going into the game. There was always hope, and I guess that's just been the ride with Villa, and you know Crystal Palace won an FA Cup. Newcastle got the League Cup, and congratulations to them. But at the same time, I just, you know, I want to aim bigger. Even like Europa League, I want to win. Yeah, now that we're in, I want to win. But like with Emery here at the club, what I'm truly just loving is that I feel like I can hope that maybe we might win the Premier League or the Champions League in the next 3 or 4 years. Like it's not likely, perhaps. It's just what makes it so fun to be a fan, though, is just having that hope in your team, that hope in your coach, that hope in your ownership, all that stuff. It's been so much fun just randomly picking Villa for just kind of silly reasons when I was just getting into it, and being able to join what is definitely a crazy, just twisty journey. Like it just seems like everything just keeps changing in different ways. There's always something unexpected that happens. The retrospective, yeah, we had conceded so many last minute goals. That Man City one, if we didn't give that Man City concession, Nuno Mendes concession, first PSG game, there's just so many what ifs, and I mean, it's not like it could change anything. And I'm not disappointed with the team, to be honest. I thought we had a team of players that went out and did their best every single day. Yuri Tielemans, oh my God, did this guy just turn into such a beast? The whole season he's been taking shots from outside the box, and he never really had success in the first half. Like he was getting them sort of on target or just like out. Like nothing was really coming together, but you could see him building it. You could see him testing it over and over. He wasn't like saying, "Oh, I'm not good at this. I'm not going to do this." He was working at the skill, and I think that might be something under Emery. Is like, "Hey, you got to work at this, build this," and it's became a threat. He now has a shot from outside the box. He now has not just a terrifying through ball, not just like lots of vision and lots of accuracy and just control of the game, but he also now has this wonderful outside the box 30 meter, 25 meter, just like smash that can change a game in just a second. It's awesome. Your Tielemans and Morgan Rogers have been my two favorite players to watch this season. And what a season for the both of them. I think that the talk around them in the league and everything has just like shot through the roof. I think they've gotten a lot of credit, and I really hope they both get to play for Villa next year. Yeah, that would be painful to lose either of them. For some reason, I had this nagging worry that Chelsea might come in for Rodgers for a lot of money, but hopefully not. Hopefully not. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, Emmy Martinez. Oh, I don't even know what to say about that rugby tackle. Uh, at the end of the day, I have so much love for Debu. Great guardian deity of the whole end, just so glad to have had the opportunity to just be a fan for the club he was playing for, I guess. Like, it was just such a cool experience to. It was one of the players that really drew me into the game in terms of feeling like there was something to attach me to the other parts of the game. Like, I was an Aston Villa fan, I was watching the Premier League, but I didn't really know anything about anything else. And then the World Cup came around, and we had Emi Martinez playing for Argentina, and I was like, okay. And I mean, to be honest, I didn't watch as much of that World Cup as you might expect because I was really busy that year. But it was still cool to be seeing how Villa players were part of a bigger ecosystem and starting to pull me more and more into that football ecosystem. So it's been cool. And if he leaves, thank you so much. See ya. Have a great life, bro. I really really wish Emmy was gonna be here for the rest of the journey along with Emery. To be honest, because I just don't think that there's a better goalkeeper. So what can you do? Change happens. Change happens, and I don't know about Watkins too, right? It felt like he was on the out. But if Rashford can't go to, or if Rashford's going back to Man United, he's not going to play for us if we don't have UCL, then Watkins might be here next year. And that wasn't a bad thing for me until it felt like we were pushing him out. Once you have a player feel like he's on the outs and now he's playing again, it just feels like, for Watkins in particular, like his confidence is just such a big factor, and his mentality, what he's thinking about going into a game, and it's it's worrying. It's worrying. I mean, I still love the dude. I hope he has international success. Uh, I just want him to focus on being the best Watkins. You know, he doesn't have to outscore Harry Kane. He doesn't have to outscore Holland. He just needs to be the best Watkins. That's what'll get him into the international team. It won't be outscoring Harry Kane or Holland. He's not going to do that. Not that Holland is competing for the England national team. I'm just saying he's competing for the Golden Boot in the Premier League. But, you know, Watkins went into the season telling himself, I'm going to win the Golden Boot. I'm going to qualify. I'm going to get into that World Cup team. And Holland scored 10 goals and 2 hat-tricks in 5 games, and Watkins made a couple mistakes, and all of a sudden his goal for the season was completely shattered, and that clearly affected his confidence, in my opinion. That's how I felt about it. I mean, that's just my speculation, of course. Uh, you got to set goals for yourself from a professional mindset that you can always make progress towards. At least if you set a goal such as, I'm going to be the Premier League Golden Boot winner, and that's how I'm going to get into the international team, that's how I'm going to be the first string for England's national team, then you have to go out and perform every week. And if you fall behind, if all of a sudden it becomes impossible really early, it can just jolt your confidence. That was my reasoning. I don't know. Maybe I thought too much about it. There was that stretch there right at, I think it was October. Oh, excuse me. I think it was October where we were winning a game, and I think Bournemouth tied it with like the last kick of the game, and then we went like on like an 8 or 9 game winless, or without a win, yeah. And the only reason we didn't get crapped on in the media so much is because Man City started their worst streak just before us and kept going until just after us. So we were able to dodge some of the punditry making fun of us because Man City was just so much worse. But we were really struggling. The Ipswich game, the Wolves game, yeah, it was a time where our defense was uh, questioned for sure. And I mean, to be fair, Cunha's goal on Emmy was a banger. That was a banger of a goal. Yeah, the Bayern Munich game, probably the highlight of the season for me. Uh, I remember feeling like I'd lost, or like, lost years of stress off of my life. Like my shoulders, like released in a way I hadn't even expected or believed was possible from watching a team win a sports match. Like just the relief, the ecstasy, just so much pent up tension from the game, watching the final minutes, the Duran just dagger of all daggers, just the most unbelievable shot. Just everything that came together was just crazy. And yeah, I really wish we'd gone back in the Champions League so we could have more nights like those. But at the same time, uh, maybe that's just being greedy, and that to enjoy the journey, you just have to enjoy the journey. And Europa League sounds like the kind of place where we can get revenge on Crystal Palace, maybe, for destroying us all year. Adam Wharton, god damn it. Yeah. The other the other Champions League games were all awesome. So much so much intensity from the Villa fan park, just so much noise coming out of the broadcast when things went well. You could just hear how loud everyone was being. So I mean, shout out to all the people that get to go to those games and make noise, because yeah, wow, I can't even imagine. Must be fun. There's there's things to talk about in regards to Leon Bailey. He we didn't have another right winger early on in the season, and so he got injured going into that second international break right before in October. And so when he came back, he was just not himself. It took like 3 or 4 months before he was up to top speed again. And yeah, it was just clearly we needed to upgrade our bench, and I think we did that phenomenally. We went into the season, we still had Mings and Kamara injured, so it was, you know, we were building into the season our bench, and people talk about how amazing, amazing, amazing our transfer window was in January. Looking back now, where it all ends up, where the board lays, it makes you wonder. The Rashford transfer now becomes almost a double-edged sword, because it could have really negatively impacted our relationship with Watkins, and we don't have anything to show for it. In terms of Europa, we do, but I mean, Champions League was really all or bust in this situation. So Marco Asensio obviously came in and has been a hero, and it's crazy. Those two penalty misses probably impacted his confidence in that his big opportunity versus PSG. But I mean, of course, you give him those penalties to give him more confidence, and it just an unfortunate set of circumstances. Oh, jeez. But I mean, he came in and he's just been so good, and I really enjoy watching him play in the midfield. I think he's amazing. So I hope we get to be able to purchase him. I saw his message. He said looking forward to what's next. So let's hope. Let's hope, Marco. Marco Asensio. Let's go. Uh, big matches. Big matches. I want to beat Newcastle next year. I mean, it's not their fault that the ref blew the whistle, but I still kind of want to blame them, because they're the ones that got the Champions League out of it. So I really want to beat Newcastle. I just want to step on their throats a bit. I mean, and this is a retrospective. I'm talking next season already, but you know, uh, yeah, it's been so much fun to be a Villa fan this season. Just so much hope. And going into next season, I still have a lot of hope. But if we're going to challenge for the Premier League, we need momentum from the first day. We've seen so many new good teams this year. I say new, but I just mean like there's so many teams that were performing above what other people expected of them. Forest, of course, the most exceptionally. But a lot of the teams that were above us going into the January were Bournemouth and Brighton and Fulham. So I mean, like, these teams were all really strong contenders. So if Spurs and Man United hadn't been crap all year, who knows what the board or the table would have even looked like. There's every game is going to be a battle next year, and the ones we have to win, Man City, we'll have to get results at Man City. We'll have to get results at Arsenal and Liverpool, and then even then, Chelsea with Cole Palmer. People are talking about Maresca and blah blah blah. Look, at the start of the season, people were like super underrating Chelsea. They're like, oh, they're gonna have a struggle. They're gonna be like seventh or eighth or something, and it was like, okay, but actually, some of them were saying they're gonna be like 10th. I think some of the pundits, but it was like you have Cole Palmer. You're not gonna get 10th. Cole Palmer is like a generational PL talent. He might be one of the best in the world next year. I think he might be the best player in the world next year. Who knows? Like literally, he's that good. So it just doesn't. It Maresca, it's hard to really even judge what his impact is because like when Cole Palmer's hot, they win, and if he's cooled down, they struggle. So it's like, yeah, that's more or less what we're gonna expect. Like it's if you can build a team around Cole Palmer, you're gonna win the Premier League. You can win the Champions League. Yeah, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. It's not unexpected. So I mean, like every match is crazy. Like those are just the top four teams, right? And then it's like, okay, yeah, well, now what about Bournemouth? What about Fulham? What about Brighton? What about Wolves? We lost to Wolves this year. Are we gonna be able to beat them now that I don't have Cunha? Cunha, maybe. Oh wait, Wolves went down. What am I saying? Never mind. We're not gonna have to worry about Wolves. Yikes! I feel bad now for having to rub that in. I forgot about that. My bad, Wolves fans. Good luck. Good luck. Get back into the Premier League. Yeah, it's been an unbelievable season as a Villa fan that started watching in 2020. The Jack Grealish sale, the struggles, Steven Gerrard. It's just been it's just been such a strange set of circumstances where I felt like maybe even though I was a fan of soccer and a fan of the club that I hadn't really gotten it yet. I hadn't really had the experiences required to really fall in love with the sport and just follow as much of as I can. It's just it's just really been these last 2 years under Emery in particular that just made made my whole life different. Like my sleep schedule is different. The hope is just different. The giddiness and excitement the night before is just different. And so I mean, as long as that doesn't change, then thank you so much, Emmy. Good luck wherever. Watkins, if you're out, good luck. Thank you so much. Top goal scorer, Aston Villa all time, one of the greats, no doubt about it. I really hope we keep Morgan Rogers and Tielemans. Kamara's contract talks are going to be so different now. Matson, Matson to me is a good player, but Luka Digne has been Luka Dean has just been so good, and so it's unfortunate that he couldn't play the final day. Onana has been really good, but I get nervous how fast he turns. He turns so freaking fast that I'm always surprised, but I'm worried for his knees, bro. But like, yeah, I really love watching him when he like is like silky smooth on the ball. Like you can tell when he feels good going on the pitch, like because he's just like turning on everybody, and that's awesome. So hopefully he can come into next season ready to be able to play a full season, or at least most of a full season without too many injuries or whatever. Yeah, Marco Asensio, wonderful. John McGinn, Super John McGinn, what a strike for his PSG. Honestly, John McGinn might be my player of the season for Aston Villa. He's just been so awesome, so awesome. Super John McGinn. Yeah, I think that's about it. I lost the plot, I guess. Not too much else to talk about. A solemn end to the season, honestly. Really frustrating, really heartbreaking, but to be honest, losing to PSG was more heartbreaking than not getting Champions League again. So you know, you take the blows. Yeah, you have a cup of tea, I guess, if you're into that. Thanks so much, guys. Uh, I'm planning to make more content next year. Maybe some more during the preseason if there's stuff to talk about that I feel like talking about. But hopefully the the Villa project is just ramping up. And part of me really does think it is. Like there's no real reason to suggest that we've lost all of our momentum. It's true we had a chance to gain a bunch of momentum or in this last match and we dropped that ball, but the truth is we still have tons and tons of momentum and we have tons and tons of things to look forward to. Monchi's done great with transfers in January. I look forward to seeing what's coming. We have a lot of interesting players in the academy. We just won the youth FA Cup, I believe. So I mean, there's gonna be changes, and we're gonna be here for it. We're gonna support our players for it and our coach, and we're just gonna be grateful for the opportunity and the journey to support them. And you know what? If we don't win a trophy, I actually don't really mind because I'd rather just have this hope as long as I can. Because this is what makes me tune in. This is what makes me watch. It's true. If we won an FA Cup this year, that would have been a great day. But at the end of the day, if that was the last time I got to be really excited about watching Villa, then it wouldn't be worth it at all. And right now, I'm just really, really excited for Villa. Thanks.